The sun's trying to come out. Whole lot of clouds over there though. Morning, girls. Anyone gonna have a baby here shortly? No? Alright then. Guys, big gulps, huh? Cool. Well, see you later. It's such a classic one-liner joke. Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey, legendary line. I crack myself up sometimes. Anyways, guys, welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe and like button. We just got the dry cow pen here scraped. We're waiting for the fresh cows to go to the parlor and we can scrape that pen. While I'm waiting, I am going to run down to the other barn and get our 4430 with our sand shooter on it. We've got a Mensch sand bedding wagon we just bought last year. That's been a lifesaver. We used to bed with a skid steer and it took forever. So, yeah, stalls are a little low. I am going to go down. I think one load should do it. I just put a load in on Saturday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, one load will do it. So that's what we're up to today. Beautiful morning. We got a serious amount of rain last night. Like you guys saw in my video from yesterday how much rain we got when we were trying to cover a bunk. It didn't stop. It kept going right on through midnight, and the wind picked up too. It was insane. I don't know how much rain and wind we ended up actually getting, but I know that I got branches down in my yard. Kids' toys are spread out all over the place. So, yeah, it got western around here. So, definitely not going to be field spreading with a truck today. That baby will get planted. Definitely could tend the noon though. I think the 9320 in the noon would be fine. We got to finish getting the tires spread out on that bunk. And yeah, beautiful sunrise. This camera doesn't really do sunrises very good justice. I have noticed that. But anyways, that's what we're up to today, guys. Follow along here. So here's what we're dealing with. Two-wheel drive 4430 with a synchro transmission, and I believe 18442. Yes, 18442. So don't mind her being dirty. She's a workhorse here, but greatest tractor ever made? I don't know about that, but it's definitely in the discussion for what it did for its time. But there's the Mensch bed and shooter here. Pretty simple rig. It's got a PTO shaft, runs a hydraulic pump to all your different controls. One of the valves does up and down on the door. One of them turns your belts on. One of them tilts the belt side to side, and the other one runs the chain floor. And that's basically it. Very, very simple machine. Okay, so we're gonna put this group of cows back, and then we can open up the gates and start bringing down the fresh group here. Parlor's right up there. We got a double 20 parallel De La Valle parlor. So once those girls are out, we just shut these crosswalk gates. Now the cows that are left in the parlor can't get mixed in with the next group of cows. You want to go back before I shut this gate? All right. Yeah, there you go. Go get you something to eat. Not Clark Griswold, that's Uncle Eddie. Griswold Family Vacation. Another classic one-liner. We're on fire today. Putting on a joke clinic. All right, girl. Then we will shut this gate. This gate blocks off the cows from coming back from the old barn here. Now we should be all set. By the time I get that group of cows down, they'll have that last group of cows into the parlor. So we can open this baby up. And drape that over there. We will head up to the new barn. Look at that sun coming through. It's a big heck yeah. Corn's doing good over here. So this field, I don't know what it is, 4 or 5 acres, has been pasture for as long as I can remember. Our dry cows would go out on it. But now that we've got the new barn, the dry cows are up here, and there was no good way to put them on that pasture. So we disked it up. We couldn't do deep tillage because we've got internet lines and water lines that run through that field. We weren't exactly sure how deep they were. So we just disked it and planted it. But it looks really, really good, which it should. It's probably got more phosphorus than any other field on the farm. Not probably, it does. So we will walk over here. And these girls are ready to go. You guys want to go to the parlor? Huh? We're just forcing them. There you go, ladies. Good morning. This big white speckled cow right here is one of my wife's cows. She just calved and had a real nice heifer calf. Huh. She is an absolute unit. All right, we'll go push these guys out and get the bed scraped off here. Just like that, we are all set. Get these gates back put the way they're supposed to be. can let you ladies back in. Nice fresh bedding, nice clean barn. Always double check the far end. I'm paranoid that I'm gonna leave a gate open. Because this is what they do. They come in and they always walk to the far end. All right. Well, I'm going to leave that up here for now, take the skid steer back down, and go take the kids to school, I think. We're going to get back to pumping manure today. Caleb's going to take the tractor and spread her out. We're going to tend him. I was just looking at this standpipe here, and it's looking like we're getting a little thin. Last year I replaced that piece up on the top because it wore all the way through. And now with this waterier manure, it's starting to bubble through, so we might very well have a manure sprinkler here by the end of the day. Probably better call and get that piece coming, I guess. All right guys, we're down here at the field, offloading onto the spreader here. So I'll show you guys as the day goes on. We do bed sand. It likes to build up in these tanks good. So prior to buying this Noon spreader, we had a Hool that had zero agitation in it. Now the new Hool spreaders do have agitation, or the auger, but we ended up going with the Noon just because I really like the tandem axle over all the steering components on the other brands like Jamesway, Hool, or Valmetal. So we went with that. Just like I said, I love the flotation, but we did get in-tank agitation on this. So it's just got two knife valves, similar to that dry hill pump that we've got. It's a similar setup where you can close the valve that goes to the back of the spreader, and it opens a valve that goes into a separate pipe that goes to the back and just dumps back into the tank. So it just recirculates. And the way that this Noon spreader is built, the back wall of the tank is rounded. So when it comes into that pipe, it just kind of rounds down. Where on the Hool, the back wall was flat. So when the way they agitate it is they just dumped it right in front of the fill pipe. So that was really only agitating that area. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't work. I just liked the design of this Noon a little better, the way that they've got it set up. As you can see, we made a mess of this truck yesterday. Not happy about that, but we're just gonna keep rocking on here. And maybe if we get a rainy day, we'll get it cleaned up good. But yeah, next load, I'll show you guys this, this agitation setup on the tank. You can see right here in the back, there's a knife valve that shuts. And then down here on the front of the tanker, there's another knife valve that opens. So they're on the same hydraulic remote, so when one opens, the other one closes. So to agitate, you just make sure that this one's open and the one in the back's closed, and it sends it down this pipe here, and it kind of is angled inside the tank to go right along that wall. So like I was saying, the way that it's curved really gets the stuff flushing through there real nice, and it pushes it up to the front. Also, there's an 8-inch knife valve on the bottom of the tank. It's technically a rock trap, but we dump it. You can see the streaks. After every load that gets loaded, that gets opened just to get any little bit of sludge on the bottom of the tank that's left in there. That helps keep the sand from piling up inside the tank as well. You can see these tires on this thing. 35.5 LR32s. These things are massive and they float very, very well. We used to have a Hool 7300 with 3 axles, and this thing floats significantly better than the tri-axle Hool does. So far we've been really happy with it, and not one time have I had to clean sand out of it. That gets dangerous and it's just a pain right in the neck. So pretty happy with this tank so far. Perfect. More rain. I'm getting so sick of rain. It's making stuff grow. But I don't think we've had one day where we can just do what we planned on doing from start to finish. Now, I'm gonna bring a few more loads down here, and I hopefully it's just a sprinkle, just a passing shower. If it starts raining hard, we'll have to shut down again, I guess. Rain has held off. We're just kind of getting a little misting for the last hour or so since that last clip. Good news, I found my headset. I've been looking for this thing for like a week. It was in the cubby of my back door of my pickup truck. I don't know how or why it got put there, but I'm pretty jacked up because it's kind of a pain when people call you all day long and you can't talk because you're driving a truck. But here we are, we got her back. So, pretty jacked up out there. Probably 5-6 more loads will be done at this field. We'll get moved up onto the hill to the big one. I think the plan tomorrow is we're going to run 2 trucks. Our neighbor, well, a lot of our neighbors do custom manure hauling actually, but the guy that hauls our milk for us, he's got a manure truck, and hopefully he can come up and give us a hand tomorrow. We're not hauling that far from home, maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles, but this spreader unloads in right around 2 minutes. So there's no time. I mean, he's waiting for me now, and I'm hauling less than a mile away. So if we can get 2 trucks here tomorrow, we can really hammer loads out. As it is, we'll have a 30 load day today. Tomorrow, maybe we hit 50, 60 loads. That would be a really good day. So, see what the weather does though. That field does have a rather good sized hill on it. This big tank will push that tractor around pretty good. But yeah, like I said, we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I'm glad that it stopped raining now. Well, it stopped raining hard, so we can keep ripping at her here, and yeah, rock on. All right, guys, we're all done hauling manure for the day. It's 5 o'clock. Figured we'd take this advantage to get out of here at a decent time tonight, even though I'm not getting out of here. Actually, my kids are on their way over. We're gonna walk some show calves, but I gotta go pick up Caleb. He's moving the tractor and spreader over to the next field. Figured I'd come down here and see what they're up to with the construction today for that new lagoon. So we'll check it out here. So, not really sure. Looks like they got this barricade fence up today, which I suppose is a lot bigger job than it looks. Huh. There is a creek down here, you know, just a little tiny. It's more just field drains and whatnot. But it's all got to have this fencing around the whole project, and we're gonna have to figure out drainage because we're digging such a big hole. All the water's gonna have to drain out of it. Man, it's weird seeing chopped ground this early, but yeah, they got the fence up over there. It goes all the way to the road. So part of this project is while we're moving dirt for the lagoon's gonna set right in this area here, but we're building another heifer barn, a twin to that one beside it. Not this year, at some point, but we figured while we're moving all of this fill dirt, we would put the fill that we're gonna need for the new barn up here, because it doesn't look like much, but from the road back, I mean, you're talking 6-8 feet of fill. So that's gonna be a lot of fill. Plus it solves, you know, where all the fill's gonna go. Cause again, that's a serious amount of yard. I wanna say like 26,000 yards of dirt or something they're gonna have to move. So we're gonna bring that fill up to here and fill that in. So that's the update today. It looks like they just got that border fence all put into place. So yeah, I suppose we'll go pick up Caleb and bring him to his pickup and call it a day. The spreader's been delivered to the field. grease. Pump tractor is in need of fuel in the morning, but other than that, we should be good to go. Me and the kids just finished up walking the show calf. We're gonna call it a night there, guys. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.